But the last thing I want to talk about today, guys, the last topic I have to discuss is Mikal Bridges. That is something that we have to do and we have to understand here. So with Mikal Bridges, we have an update on his contract with the Knicks. And honestly, if he's going to have a contract extension with New York, and if he does sign that contract extension, what is the amount going to be for him and this team? And honestly, I think we had this discussion before the season started. We thought that maybe at that point, he could sign a contract extension. I mean, he could have, but he would have left a lot of money on the table. And honestly, he is not Jalen Brunson. But according to James L. Edwards of The Athletic, he predicts that this offseason, Mikal Bridges is going to get paid. He is going to get paid significantly and become a major piece for this team moving forward. If we didn't really know that already, we know it now. Let's break down those reports that we have as well, too. According to James L. Edwards, he predicts that the Knicks will sign a 4-year, $156 million contract extension this year. Surely the Knicks and Mikal Bridges had a wink-wink deal in place when he turned down a 2-year, $60 million extension before the season started. New York almost has no choice but to extend Bridges, and I'd be surprised if it's not for that max number allowed. Bridges fits well alongside the likes of Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. He'll be 29 at the start of next season. He's got familiar faces and support with him in New York. Can't deny that as well. And honestly, if you asked me in December, you didn't even have to wait. If you asked me in December, would New York offer Mikal Bridges a contract extension? I would have told you yes. If you asked me, would they offer him a lot of money? I would have answered that question to be yes. Would it be max or close to max? I wouldn't know how to answer that. I wouldn't say it would be max or close to max dollars. But according to James L. Edwards, he predicts that Mikal Bridges will get $156 million over 4 years. And if it's not, it's going to be near the max number allowed. I don't know if that's the max number allowed. It might be, or it might be a little higher than that. If it is, pay Mikal Bridges a max contract. I never thought that was even a possibility before the season started. But now, heading into this offseason, it looks like that's the case. Honestly speaking, when it comes to keeping this roster together, making sure we keep this roster intact, because we're trying to go after that championship title. We're trying to get that championship ring. We're trying to break the drought. Since that's the case, you have to pay to play. You have to keep this roster together. The core is your starting lineup. All of the starters need to be locked down and kept on this team for many, many, many years. That's the starting five that we need. That starting five is near unstoppable, so dominant. What we also need, though, is a legit bench. Players on the bench that you'll utilize, you'll put into the game, and you'll be able to have an impact with. And another lineup that we've been robbed, that we have not been able to see, is Mikal Bridges as the lone starter playing with 4 bench players. That's what I want to see. I've been wanting to see that all season long, because you get to rest your starters, and Mikal Bridges becomes the playmaker, has the ball in his hands, gets to be able to lead the offense. And guess what? He can do that, ladies and gentlemen. He is capable. He is very, very good at being that type of player. And his impact and his value will unlock even further if the Knicks are able to play him that way. You'll see why he's worth that contract if the Knicks are able to play him that way. He's already proven no matter who he's out there on the floor with, he can get the best out of everyone because he plays unselfishly. He attacks when necessary. He gets to the line. He can shoot the 3-ball. Although, I can also say, for the last couple of games, for a while actually, that 3-ball has not looked good. It has not been falling. But you know what? I have confidence and faith. He's just going through a little bit of a difficult stretch. And at some point, he is going to get through this. He is going to get better. Those 3-pointers are going to go in like they were going in December. And we're not going to have any issues with Mikal. So I have a lot of faith in him. And I also think Mikal is going to be a key for us in the postseason. We saw his defense during that month of December when we were on that 9-game winning streak. You saw OG and you saw Mikal. You saw how they play defense. You saw how they switch, the level of defense that they give on each and every possession, keeping their man in front of them, making sure they're helping, but not over-helping at times. They do get caught over-helping sometimes, but they try not to make a habit of it. We've seen Mikal Bridges do that. Of course he's going to be retained. We gave up significant assets for Mikal Bridges. So it would make sense to retain him, especially if he fits this roster and does everything that we need him to do. He's already proven that. He's a perfect fit for this team. He gives you lockdown defense at times, great offense at times. He attacks very well. He can create in the mid-range, probably better than most players in the league right now. He gives you all of that on your starting unit. He is Iron Man, doesn't miss a game, plays so many minutes and doesn't complain. He's the perfect player for Tom Thibodeau and this current Knicks team. So there is no way you even chance it with Mikal, chance it with trading him, or chance it with doing anything like that. You retain him. You keep him on this team. You pay him, and you make sure he's part of our future for many, many years to come. And if Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart have anything to say about it, he is going to be part of this team as long as those two guys are part of this team. And I think at this point, we all understand. Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, the roommates, they're lifers. They're likely going to play for their entire career with the New York Knicks because those moves, the trade for Josh Hart, fleeced. Look back at that deal today. We fleeced them. Look at the numbers he's putting up today. We fleeced them. Jalen Brunson. Look at where he is in all-star voting in terms of guards. Where was he in the West? We fleeced them. We fleeced them. Well, not fleeced them because technically we didn't trade with them, but we took a player away from them that they could have signed that they didn't. We're doing all of these moves. Leon Rose knows what it takes for a championship contender to stay together, be together, and win together. He didn't make all of these moves in the offseason to not make the move he needs to make this offseason in terms of keeping them together and paying the players you need to pay. Mikal Bridges is a player that you need to pay. So paying him 100, what was the number again? 156. So paying Mikal Bridges 156 million in terms of a contract extension with the Knicks over 4 years, I would absolutely do it. I would take it. I would make this move if I'm the Knicks because it makes sense. It makes sense to keep your core together, your roster together, and then make changes where you need on the back end, the bench pieces, the depth area, because that's clearly where we need to improve right now. And after this season, we're going to have a bigger evaluation period with this team to understand where we need to make even better improvements, maybe even more major improvements. That's something that we're going to get the answers to later on down the road. But hearing that Mikal Bridges is going to get that contract extension with the Knicks, potentially for max dollars, I am not surprised by it. I am not taken back by it because I knew even before the season started, this was going to happen. I didn't know the number. That's all. I didn't know the number, but I knew this was going to happen because I know Leon Rose and this Knicks front office. You're not building this team to watch it all go away in 1 year. You're building this team because you know cohesion, chemistry, it's important. And once you build it and you have it and it's locked, you're going to terrorize the league for years. We're doing some terrorizing and we are not fully healthy. We don't have the chemistry built and we still have more work to do. Ask yourself this question, ladies and gentlemen. Where is this team when we are fully healthy, when we have figured it all out, and when the chemistry has been developed? I think that team is a team that runs through the league. If you enjoyed these clips from the live show, be sure to subscribe to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new episodes or when we go live. Thanks for watching, Knicks fans, and until next time, peace.